शरण्याकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना नन्दे नमत्तालिको वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको श्री गौरांग गुणार्वाणविदो श्रद्धा समृद्ध्यन्वितो पापोत्तापनिकृत्तनो तनुभृतां गोविन्दगानामृते आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैकनिपुनो कैवल्यनिस्तारको वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदातु च वत् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया तौ पीनकन्ताश्रितो गोपीभावरसामृताभिलहरी कालोलमग्नौ मुहुर्वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको कूजात् कोकिलहंस सारसगणा कीर्णे मयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलवितपा श्रीयुक्तवृन्दावने राधाकृष्णमहानिशं प्रभजतो जीवार्तधो यौ मूढा वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको संख्यापूर्वकनामगाननटिभिः कालावसानिकृतो निद्राहारविहारकारिविजितो सत्यान्तदीनो च यो राधाकृष्णगुणास्मृतेर्मधुरिमान् नन्देन सम्मोहितो वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतुनया तीरे च वंशिवते प्रेमोन्मादवशादशेषदशया ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरेर्गुणवरं भावाभिभूतौ मूढा वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको हे राधे व्रज देविके च ललिते हे नन्दसूनुकुता श्रीगोवर्धन कल्पपादपतले कालिन्दीवन्ये कुता घोषन्तविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे केदिर्महाविवलो वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Keshi Gata Vamsi Vata Dwadasha Kanana Yaha Shabalila Kailo Shri Nanda Nandana Shri Nanda Jashoda Jaya Jaya Gopagana Shri Damadi Jaya Jaya Denu Vatsagana Jaya Vishabhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Aghira Naghari Jaya Vishabhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Abhira Nagari Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana Majha Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Bhatu Dvijaraja Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavana Majha Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Bhatu Dvijaraja Jaya Rama Gatha Jaya Rohini Nandana Jaya Vrindavana Vasi Jiyata Jana Jaya Rama Gatha Jaya Rohini Nandana Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Vasi Yata Jana Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanya Gana Bhakti Teja Hara Pailosh Govinda Charana Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanya Gana Bhakti Teja Hara Pailo Govinda Charana Shrirasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shyama Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarvo Manorama Shrirasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shyama Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarvo Manorama Jaya Jaya Ujjwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sara Karakiya Bhahe Yaha Rajate Prachara Jaya Jaya Ujjwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sara Karakiya Bhave Yaha Brajate Prachara Shrijana Vapada Padma Koriya Smarana Dina Krishna Dase Kahe Nama Sankirtana Shrijana Vapada Padma Koriya Smarana Dina Krishna Dase Kahe Nama Sankirtana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav, Radha Nila Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Shri Krishna Balaram, Jaya 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 Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, 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 Jaya Guru. Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
ये ड्रम बड़ा देना प्रभु जी।
आप बचा दीजिए हम लोग के।
एक मिनट हाँ जी, छोटा कर दीजिए जी। ठीक है, बस रहने दीजिए, कोई नहीं। बस बस, हरी बोल, बहुत बढ़िया हो।
ठीक है,
ठीक है। अरे ये तो बजते ही नहीं है, क्या हो गया इसको? अच्छा, हरी बोल। नहीं, मेरे से तो नहीं बजेगा। वो दे दीजिए, तो कोई और दे दीजिए। चलो ठीक है, कोई बात। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वयं पदान्तिकं मूतं करोति वाचालं पंगुलंघते गिरं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेव तारणं। यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेव तारणं। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे। एवरीबॉडी हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा हरि बोल, जय जगन्नाथ। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरि बोल, हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hari Bol! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Bol, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hari Bol! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. बोल कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय, गुरुदेव महाराज की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. I haven't seen you yesterday. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Yes. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Lots of my bhajan kuti.
Haribo.
You serve a few deities and chant.
Haribo.
Not every day. I know after all, it's 32. But because of Jamashini, I would like to do that. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vachatyare Shatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Kiva Jayo Jayo Gaurachande Aratike Shobha Kiva Kiva Jayo O Jayo Gaurachande Aratike Shobha Kiva Jayo Gaurachande Arati Kesava Janavi Tatavani Jagamana Lava Janavi Tatavani Jagamana Lava Kibadakineni Taichan Bhame Gadadar Kibadakin Taichan
Kibadaki nene tai chang vamigadadara Kibadaki tai chang vamigadadara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachatra Dara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachatra Dara Vasiyache Gauracham Rana Singhasane Kibabasi Kibabasi Yache Gauracham Rana Singhasane Kibabasi Yache Gauracham Rana Singhasane Arati Korina Brahma Adideva Gane Arati Korena Brahma Kibanarari Adi Kore Chamaradulaya Kibanara Hari Ade Kore Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Kosha Adigaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Kiba Shankha Baje Ghanta Baje Baje Karatala Kiba Shankha Baje Ghanta Baje Kiba Shankha Baje Ghanta Baje Baje Karatala Kiba Shankha Baje Ghanta Baje Baje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasa Madhur 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 Baje Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Madhu মধুর মধুর বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্ট বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে ঘণ্ট বাজে বাজে মধুর মধুর শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্ট বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ মধুর 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 বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খা বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে হরিব 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 নিতাই গো হরিব হরিব কি বাবা হো কতি চন্দ্র জিনি বদনায়ুষাল কি বাবা চন্দ্র জিনি গালা দেশে বনমাল করে জল মালা গালা দেশে করে কিবা শিবা শোকা নারদা প্রেমে গদ গদ শুকা নারদা প্রেমে গদ গদ ভকতি বিনোদ দেখে গৌররা সম্পাদ পাক কি বাজায় ও যায় গৌরা চন্দে অরতি কেশব কি বাজায় গৌরা চন্দে অরতি কেশব জানবে তাতাবনে জগা জনমানলোব জানবে তাতাবনে জগা জন জানবে তাতাবনে জগা জন মনলোব আমার গৌরাঙ্গে রাতি শোভা জগ জন মানলোব গৌরাঙ্গে রাতি শোভা জগ জন জগ জন মানলোব জগ জন ও জগ জন মানলোব আমার গৌরাঙ্গে আরতি শোভা জগ জন মানলোভ Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo, Haribo, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Hey Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gora, 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 gora. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jai Gaurari, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Sachi Mata Pranadhana Gaura Hare, Sachi Mata Pranadhana. Bolo Nadia Bihari Gaura Hare, Nadia Patita Pavana Gaura Hare. Nitai, 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 Nitai Gauranga, Parama Karuna, Nitai Gauranga, Parama Karuna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Shri Radha, Nila Madhava Radha, Nila Madhava Radhe, Radha Nila Madhava. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Sudarshan Chakra. Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram, Jaya Lakshmana Numa. Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha. Gauranita, Gaunita, Patita Pavana Gauranita. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Bolo Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Patita Pavana Prabhupada, Patita Patita Pavana Prabhupada. Vaita Papa Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhu Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Nitai Gaur Hari Pramanande.
नमो विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रवक्ताचार्य इस्कॉन फाउंडरचार्य कृष्ण कृपा मूर्ति चरण अरविंदे श्री भक्ति वेदांत श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। गंगमाई यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गोवर्धन की जय। गोप गोपीनाथ की जय। श्री धाम श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। अयोध्या धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र ज्योतिषा तीर्थ धाम की जय। संवेद भक्तविंद की जय। युग धर्म हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर निताई की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरी टू समर्थ what is Hare Krishna. All glories to समर्थ what is Hare Krishna. All glories to समर्थ what is Hare Krishna. जय श्री गौर गंगा श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। नमो विष्णुपाद।
Nursing Arti Prabhu, want to sing?
नरसिंह
Yeah, that's what
नामस्ते नरसिंहाय नामस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रहलाद लाद दायिने हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वसः शिलाटंकान खालाए ये तो नरसिंहा पर तो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहे नरसिंहा हृदय नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधीरता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल बले नकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधीरता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 बोलो नरसिंह भगवान की जय भक्त प्रहलाद की जय प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय गुरुदेव महाराज की जय
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavana Ki Jai. So we're very fortunate today because it's an opportunity to praise Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, and the most munificent, meaning generous, friendly, humble, and of course, the most merciful Vaishnava saint in recent times. And today we're going to hear a discussion that Prabhupada had in 1969, May 10th, in Columbus, Ohio. And he talks about the special qualities that his Gurudev, or his Guru, his Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, noticed in him, in Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and praised him for it. So we should be very interested to know what it was in Srila Prabhupada that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur noticed about him and praised it. So, on May 10th, 1969, Prabhupada says, when I first started going to see my Guru Maharaja, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He said to me, okay, we have to close all the cell phones and close the door. He said, when I first started going to see my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he said to me, this boy hears very nicely. He does not go away. So I shall make him a disciple. This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saying that about Prabhupada. It was on the occasion of Prabhupada visiting Vrindavan, and his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was giving a lecture in a temple, and someone came in, one of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and announced that a group of devotees were invited to come to have parikram of the major temples of Vrindavan. It was arti time in the early evening, and almost everyone got up and went out. And Prabhupada did not go out, and a few sannyasis did not go out. And when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, this is something that happens in this temple also. Whenever we start class, people just walk out. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur noticed that this new person, Prabhupada was relatively new at that time, he said, this boy hears very nicely. He does not go away. So I shall make him a disciple. These very words, he said, now this is Prabhupada speaking, these very words he said, actually, I did not follow him in the beginning. Philosophically speaking, I was a new boy. I could not follow him, but actually I was so glad to hear him. That's all. And Prabhupada laughs. So that was my qualification, or whatever you may say. I was simply asking when Guru Maharaj would speak, then I'd sit down and go on hearing. I would understand or not understand. Others would disperse. I did not disperse. Then, at first, there was one instance, circumambulation of old Vrindavana. Although I was not initiated then, I was one of the important members. So I thought, let me go. What are these people doing, circumambulating all over Vrindavana? So Prabhupada was not initiated at that time, but he heard about a parikrama, or circumambulation of Vrindavana, and if I'm not mistaken, he was in Allahabad at that time. Now it's called Prayag again. And he had a apothecary shop. You know, he was selling medicines and herbs and things like that. He was married. He had children. So he went to Vrindavan, and he says, although I was not initiated then, I was one of the important members. Yeah, because he was a donor. Even though he wasn't initiated, he was a donor, and he helped open temples in Mumbai and in Allahabad and other places. And because he was a grihasta, and the purpose of a grihasta, or a married person, is to be charitable. As I coined the phrase, it's not what you saved, but it's what you gave that Krishna will notice. Right? You can die and have $4 billion in the bank. That's actually an embarrassment. That's actually sinful to have so much money and not use it properly in the service of God. So if you die with a lot of money in the bank, shame on you. You have wasted your life, right? Don't die with money in the bank. Yeah. But if you spend the money while you're still alive to help Krishna consciousness, just like last night we saw, that many devotees made a sacrifice. Money and blood are related. Both are very precious. And it's always hard to part with them. But last night, people were very generous, and we were able to collect over $500,000. Now, we're not going to go to Las Vegas with the money. All that money goes, just like last year also, we collected over $500,000. That money is still in the bank. And now we added another $500,000, and we need another $500,000 that we might get by selling our farm in Auburn. All that money will go to opening our new temple in the new downtown area, the Spring District of Bellevue. So he says, so that was my qualification, or whatever you may say. I was simply asking, when Guru Maharaj would speak, then I'd sit down and go on hearing. I would understand or not understand. Others would disperse. I did not disperse. Then at first, there was one instance, circumambulation of old Vrindavana. Although I was not initiated then, I was one of the important members, so I thought, let me go. What are these people doing circumambulating all over Vrindavana? So I went to Mathura, and then to Vrindavana interior, to a place known as Koshi. In that Koshi, one of my godbrothers declared, Prabhupada, meaning Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's guru, is going back to Mathura tomorrow, so he'll speak this evening, and anyone who wants to hear him can stay, and others may prepare to see another temple, which is called Shesha Temple. So although I was new, I did not want to see the Shesha Temple. I decided to hear instead. Some of my important godbrothers were sitting about like this, and I was sitting at his left, but he knew. This boy is new. Everyone was gone, all others, and then Prabhupada laughs again, except a few selected godbrothers. And my Guru Maharaj remarked, this boy is interested to hear. So, hearing is very important. Hearing, just like Arjuna heard Krishna. Because I was serious in hearing, this is Prabhupada speaking, because I was serious in hearing, therefore I am now serious about kirtanam, speaking Krishna Katha, which means speaking or preaching. Do you understand? So one who is serious about hearing can become a future preacher. Shravanam, kirtanam, that means hearing and then repeating. The next stage will develop. If one has actually heard nicely, then he will speak nicely. Shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. Then consciousness will automatically develop, because when you speak or when you hear, unless your mind is concentrated, your consciousness is slight. So you see what he said. Okay, look, let's organize the darshan not from this door. Let them go downstairs and come up here and see and then leave. Don't let anybody in the door. Then consciousness will automatically develop, because when you speak or when you hear, unless your mind is concentrated, your consciousness is slight. It cannot rightly hear or speak. Shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam, padasevanam means that activity begins immediately. Just like Bali Maharaj, he was giving. And when Vamanadev said, Bali Maharaj, you have lost everything, he said, still I have another place for you to place your foot. Yes, there is a small thing. It is my head. And Prabhupada laughs again. So Lord Vamanadev said, you have now purchased me. I shall remain your doorman, standing here always to give you protection. So this is talking about the pastime of Lord Vamanadev, the incarnation of Krishna, who appeared as a dwarf Brahmana. And he approached Bali Maharaj, who at that time was the king or the emperor of the entire universe. And although he was the king of all the asuras, his glorious grandfather was Prahlad Maharaj, who he had been instructed by. And therefore, even though he's the king of the demons, he was a devotee. And his guru, Shukracharya, was what's called a seminal guru. He was not a pure devotee. He was just an ordinary guru. He was very intelligent, and he did teach Bali Maharaj that you should give everything to Lord Vishnu. But when Lord Vishnu appeared as a dwarf brahmana called Vamanadev, Shukracharya recognized him and said, "Don't give him a damn penny. He'll take everything away from you." And Bali Maharaj was shocked. He was shocked because his guru was contradicting himself and contradicting Shastra. He had taught him correctly that you should give to Vishnu, but when Vishnu appeared as a miniature dwarf, he was worried about his salary because he could understand that Lord Vishnu had come to take everything away from Bali. So this is what happens when you're attached to money rather than being attached to Krishna. You'll even reject Krishna because of the attachment to the money. That's why it's absolutely important for grihastas. There are 4 social orders: brahmachari, grihasta, vanaprastha, and sannyas. These are the social orders. 3 of those orders, brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyas, should not and do not work. They don't earn money. They all have a vow of poverty. And they just live very, very simply, very austerely, because their main purpose is to develop spiritual purity. However, the grihastas, they're married, they have wife, children, and there's nothing wrong with being a grihasta if you follow the rules of grihasta life. In every one of these orders, brahmacharya, grihasta, vanaprastha, sannyas, there are rules that regulate the behavior. This is called Sanatan Dharma culture. The Sanatan Dharma culture is all about helping everyone in the society, whether you are a brahmana, you are a Sudra, you are Vaishya or Kshatriya. It's supposed to help everyone go back to Godhead in this lifetime. There's no embarrassment or there's no unfavorableness being a Sudra in the Varnashram system, because everyone works cooperatively to please Krishna. If that is the goal, then Krishna blesses everyone with knowledge and renunciation so that they can go back to Godhead rather easily. So this cooperation with the 4 orders of life is very important. But of the 4 orders, only one order of life, the Grihastha ashram, has the right to earn money. But their duty is to give in charity. Just like the duty of the brahmachari or brahmacharini, either one, is to sacrifice everything for the guru. The dharma of the vanaprastha is to travel with his wife and go to places of pilgrimage and meet saintly people and be instructed by them and learn to be detached from home and hearth and to live without the anxiety of paying mortgages and buying gadgets and cars and insurance and all that stuff, paying taxes, to live very simply and be always in association of saintly people in holy places. And the purpose of the dharma or the culture of the sannyasis is to be totally renounced and not only have a vow of poverty, but to eat less, sleep less, and be very intensely involved in spreading Krishna consciousness. So we see there are rules for each of the orders of life. Now, we see here that Prabhupada, he was a grihasta at this time. He was not even initiated. But the one quality that made him outstanding is he liked to hear saintly people speak bona fide knowledge about Krishna. And the most saintly person was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's guru, or future guru. And Prabhupada says, because I was serious in hearing, therefore I am now serious about kirtanam, which means speaking or preaching. Do you understand? So one who is serious about hearing can become a future preacher. Oh, by the way, don't walk out of class anymore when you come in the morning on Saturdays or Sundays. Yeah, you stay for the class. You always walk out. All right? You have to promise me. Okay. And Rajat, where is he also? He also should stay. Right. And your husband also. Yeah. Do you understand? So one who is serious about hearing can become future preacher. Shravanam Kirtanam. The next stage will develop. If one has actually heard nicely, then he will speak nicely. Shravanam Kirtanam. Smaranam. Then you can remember. Then consciousness will automatically develop, because when you speak or when you hear, unless your mind is concentrated, your consciousness is slight. It's very undeveloped. So here's the direct correlation between having highly developed consciousness and regularly, on a daily manner, hearing Vedic knowledge spoken by genuine devotees. Hearing is much more important than reading. You can read all you want. What you actually remember is very little. You can also hear a lot and still understand very little. Therefore, there's such a thing as concentrated hearing and inspired hearing. This is the most important thing in spiritual life. If you see Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking and Arjuna is hearing. And Arjuna is asking Krishna many questions. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is questions and answers. The entire Padma Purana, questions and answers. Parvati is asking many questions to her husband Shiva, and he's answering her. Srimad Bhagavatam, questions and answers. And it's all about high quality hearing, very serious hearing. And Prabhupada correlates now. He says, if one has actually heard nicely, then he will speak nicely. Shravanam, Kirtanam, and then Smaranam, remembering, comes. Then consciousness, he's equating Smaranam to consciousness. Then consciousness will automatically develop. You'll develop Krishna consciousness by this regulated hearing. He doesn't say, sit down and read all the time. He's saying, hear, right? But if you hear and then you read later on, you'll understand the reading much better, right? Because you've heard first. Because when you speak or when you hear, unless your mind is concentrated, your consciousness will not evolve. It will not develop. So being able to focus the mind. Now today, people are taught not to focus the mind. Television, just watching television teaches you not to focus the mind. Going on the internet, it teaches you not to focus the mind. Someone will go on the internet to look up something, all of a sudden they stayed there 4 hours. Going this page, that page, seeing this thing, that thing. Is this right or wrong? Okay, young ladies there who go on the internet, am I saying something real or is it false? Anybody? Does anyone have the experience of going on just to look for one thing and then you end up hours on the internet. You see? Because what does the internet teach you? What does television teach you? What do movies teach you? They teach you to become a jitterbug, a mental jitterbug, going from one thing to another thing to another thing and another thing. And you're taught not to concentrate, not to focus the mind. So, because all those mediums of communication are binary. Binary means 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? But Krishna consciousness and spiritual life is monary. Om, one thing. But Om is the impersonal way of referring to Krishna. But if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So someone who can chant minimum 16 rounds every day, what do they learn? They learn to focus the mind, to concentrate the mind on one thing, Krishna. And if you watch television, listen to the radio, and have a computer and a cell phone and a Xbox, then your mind becomes X. You see? Each one of those things teaches you not to focus the mind. It teaches you to lose control of your mind. So when you're chanting Hare Krishna, you start thinking about, I have to go to the bank today, you know. I have to put some money in the bank. And then you're chanting Hare Krishna, and you go, oh my God, I think I got to call up this person also. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And by the way, you know, I got to get a haircut. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And you know, I got to go on a vacation also. That's not chanting Hare Krishna. That's the conditionment of watching television, going to the movies, and all that nonsense. Because each one of those things teaches you not to focus the mind. Now, how do we know that? Well, because in any movie, there's 30 seconds of violence, and then there's 30 seconds of love, and then there's 30 seconds of something else, and 30 seconds of something else, and the frames are changing all the time, and your mind is going along with it. You're being led by the way the camera works and the scenes and everything. Because if it's all love, you'll get bored. If it's all violence, eventually you get bored. So they have to keep changing, keep changing, keep changing. And your mind goes along with it, and you lose the ability of concentrated hearing. So Prabhupada says, because I was serious in hearing, therefore I am now serious about kirtanam, which means speaking and preaching. Do you understand? So one who is serious about hearing can become a future preacher. Shravanam kirtanam, hearing and repeating. The next stage will develop. If one has actually heard nicely, then he will speak nicely. Then Shravanam kirtanam smaranam. Then consciousness will automatically develop, because when you speak or when you hear, unless your mind is concentrated, your consciousness is weak. It cannot rightly hear or speak. Shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam, padasevanam. That means that activity begins immediately, because you heard, you repeated, consciousness becomes much more stable and focused, and then you begin activity. The activity is not getting the haircut, going to the bank, this thing or that. The activity is devotional service. That is the goal of hearing Vedic knowledge, to understand the absolute importance of engaging in bhakti, devotional service with love and devotion for Krishna. That's the thing that will save you. Your bank account won't save you at the moment of death. Your haircut will not save you. Your vacation will not save you. Your money will not save you. What will save you? The service that you did for Krishna in this lifetime. And he would say, oh, well, I'm still young, and I want to enjoy life, and I'll wait till I get old and decrepit, then I'll do some service. Well, if you're old and decrepit, how can you do service? You're too old, you're too weak, you're too sick, your mind is troubled. You're getting old, you're going to die. How are you going to do the service? You're worried. Who's going to get my money? Which one of my kids is going to rip me off? See? So this is, don't wait. See? We must take it up right away. It says that we should begin in the earliest stages of our life. Just like our little Surya. Is our Surya here right now? Where? Bring him out here. Come here, Surya. How old are you, Surya? How many rounds do you chant? Do you? So his parents are teaching him right from this early age, right? They don't say, oh, Surya, you have to make money. You should go to Harvard University and learn to be a demon, and then you'll be successful. You know. No. They're saying, Surya, you should chant Hare Krishna. You should come to the temple. You should bow down in front of the deities. You should be respectful to the devotees. And you should do service. Surya does service with his family. The whole family comes here and they do service. See? This is education. What they're getting in school is not education. They're learning not to be concentrated in consciousness, not to hear spiritual things, just to hear mundane things. Biden did this. Trump did that. Is that going to help you become Krishna conscious, learning about Biden and Trump? So this is a decision that we have to make in this lifetime. We don't have much time. We don't know how long we're going to live. And none of those things that you think are so important are going to save you. Only this thing can save you. See? Therefore, Prabhupada says now, he talks about Bali Maharaj. So when Bali Maharaj contradicted Shastra, when Sukracharya, his guru, contradicted Shastra, although he taught him that you should give everything to Vishnu, when Vishnu actually came in his incarnation as Vamanadev, Sukracharya, he was smart. He recognized this is actually Vishnu, and he's come to take everything away from Bali. So he said, don't give him anything. And Bali got confused. He said, what? My guru is violating Shastric evidence? Therefore, I reject what my guru said. See? So real guru will never say anything different than what Krishna has said and what the acharyas have said. A false guru is someone who says, just like the Sat Guru, who's actually Asat Guru, he'll say, why you want to read an old book like Bhagavad Gita, 5,000 years old, when I am here in the flesh? I am the Acharya, I am the incarnation. You just listen to what I say. This is what they always do. They always downplay the Shastra, or they give a misinterpretation of the Shastra to make themselves important. So in India, you have a plethora, you have hundreds and thousands of so-called incarnations of Bhagavan, right? If today on Doordarshan, if they make an announcement, will the real Bhagavan stand up? How many people do you think will stand up in India? 1 million? Yeah, there'll be a lot of people. Yeah, Asaram Babu, this Baba, that Baba. They'll all stand up and they'll all look at each other and they have a little secret. They say, if you say I'm Bhagavan, I'll say you're Bhagavan, okay? This is their little secret. So, Bali Maharaj rejected his guru because his guru said one word different than Shastra and one word different than the previous acharyas. So then Bali Maharaj, he gives Vamanadev 3 steps. Now, Vamanadev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. With 2 steps, he covers the whole universe and cracks the universe, and that's the origin of the Ganga. Ganga came to this material world because his foot cracked the covering of the universe, and she entered in from the spiritual world to the material world. See? So then Vamanadev, he complained. He said, Bali, he said, I'm a little midget, but with only 2 steps, I covered the whole universe. And you're the king of the whole universe. So where am I going to put my 3rd step? And Bali Maharaj said, well, there's still one place you can put your foot, because you can put it on my head. That means I completely surrender to you, everything. See? So you surrender your money, that's not enough. You surrender your house and car, it's not enough. Because much more significantly is surrendering yourself. This is what Krishna is asking for. Sarvadharman purityaja, mamekam saranam vraja, aham tvam sarvapapebhyo moksisyami masucha. That doesn't mean you live in a cardboard box under the I-5. That's not what it means, surrendering everything. Surrendering everything means you give up doing nonsense. And now you use your time, your spare time, in serving Krishna. That's what surrender is. And you focus always on thinking about Krishna. So then Bali Maharaj says, there's still a small thing, it's my head. So Lord Vamadev said, you have now purchased me, I shall remain your doorman. So if you surrender completely to Krishna, Krishna becomes your personal protector. And by the way, the impersonalists, they want to become equal to Krishna. See, like people like Asat's guru and all these false gurus, they want to become Krishna. But the devotee, he becomes the servant of Krishna, and then servant becomes the servant of his devotee. That's higher than becoming Krishna. Now Krishna becomes the servant of his devotee. Just like Krishna will do anything for Arjuna. He broke his promise. He made a promise that he will not fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. But when he saw that Bhismadev was seriously attacking Arjuna, was going to kill him, he took the broken wheel of the chariot and used it as a chakra and ran toward Bhisma to kill him. And Bhisma said, aha, see, you broke your promise to protect your devotee. Now I have seen you. You are actually the lover of your devotee, so much so that you'll even break your promise to protect him. These are transcendental pastimes. And if you enter into the understanding of these pastimes, then you say, wait a minute, surrender to Krishna. It's not like surrendering to Bezos or Gates or Biden or anything like that. Surrendering to Krishna is actually being most successful in life, because Krishna then becomes your protector. Krishna becomes your dear friend, and Krishna becomes your everything. Bahunam janmanamante gyanavalmam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Krishna, you are my everything. Such a person who says this and actually acts like that is a real Mahatma. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. If you want to hear the rest of this, you have to come next Saturday. We're going to have an entire day of glorification of Prabhupada. And then Sunday we will have our Rath Yatra festival here. So thank you very much. There's a lot more to be said here. Look at all I have to talk about. How many pages is that? It's so much, right? So if you want to hear some more, you can come. And if you don't want to hear, that's okay. That's why we have a revolving door here. It opens and closes. You know. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions before we start the Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada and Abhishekam? Anybody have a question? It has to be one question. Spiritual life is questions and answers. So one question. Nobody has a question? You don't have a question? Okay, question is, can you elaborate a little bit more on person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat. Okay. Again. So this is Nasta Prayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki. So in this verse it says Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. You should be serving the Bhagavat. But in the purport, Prabhupada explains that there are two Bhagavats. There's the book Bhagavat and there's the person Bhagavat. Right? So, Prabhupada says there are two kinds of Bhagavatas, book Bhagavata and devotee Bhagavata. So in the Shiva Purana, there was a question by Parvati to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva and Parvati, husband and wife. Parvati means the material nature. Shristi stati pralaya sadhava saktireka. Chayeva yasya bhuvanani viparti Durga. So Durga Devi is in charge of this material world. It is called Durga, just like a fort. And the superintendent of this fort, or the material world, is Durga. You cannot go out of this fort. You are imprisoned. So such Durga Devi, who is so powerful energy, she can create, annihilate, maintain. Shristi stati pralaya sadhana. She is always sitting by the side of her husband, Lord Shiva, and questioning about spiritual inquiries. Just see, such powerful deity is also ignorant about spiritual life. So the husband, Lord Shiva, is Vaishnava, and she's always asking and sitting down underneath a bael tree. She can create so many universes, but for her, no building, only underneath the tree. In other words, Shiva doesn't give his wife anything. She doesn't have a washing machine. She doesn't have a credit card. She doesn't have a house. She lives under a bael tree. See? People pray to her. They say, Dhanam Dehi, Janam Dehi, Dehi Dehi, give me this, give me that. But she gets nothing from her husband. But she asks her husband significant questions about spiritual life, and he gives her spiritual knowledge. That for her is more meaningful and valuable than all the material assets in the world. So the question was, which worship is better? So Lord Shiva replied, Aradhananam sarvesam Vishnu Aradhanam param. My dear Parvati, of all methods of worship, Vishnu worship is the topmost. There are many demigods worship, when even Lord Shiva's worship. But Lord Shiva says Vishnu worship is the best. Then he says again, Tasmat parataram Devi, tadiyanam samacharam. Tadiya means those who are in relationship with Vishnu, Tadiya, just like his devotee is Tadiya. Tulsi Vriksha, Tulsi is Tadiya, or temple is Tadiya, preaching is Tadiya, Tadiyanam Samachanam. This is Bhagavata. So Lord Shiva recommends, of all methods of worship, Vishnu worship is the best, but better than Vishnu worship is to worship his devotee or things in relationship with him, like Govardhan, Parvat, like Vrindavan, right? Like the temple where deity is present. See? So Tadiyanam, that is Bhagavata. Here it is also said, Tadiyanam, Bhagavata Sevaya. This book, Bhagavata, spoken by the devotee, Bhagavata, this should be taken very seriously daily. There it is, right there. Exactly what I was saying, right? And Prabhupada said it, I didn't say it, Prabhupada said it in a lecture in 1969, and he says it again in this purport to the second chapter, first canto, second chapter, 18th verse. There's the answer to your question. All right, we'll stop right there, and we'll begin our Abhishekam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll have kirtan. Okay, Prabhu, you start kirtan, and Prabhu, you take. Okay, you do the kirtan, right? You're going to do kirtan? You're going to do what? All right, good. All right, then Prabhu, you do some kirtan. Who? Okay, Parth, you do it. some of the kids can do kirtan also after he finishes. Yeah.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Desatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Pataka Bhavani Ki Jai. Kanti Mati? Kanti. Call her. Call her. Where is she? Is she not here? She's not here? Okay. So we're going to have Arti?
Shrestha. Shrestha. Call Shrestha.
So before the Arti and the Pushpanjali, everyone can sit down. We want to recognize and thank all the people that generously donated last night. We'll go through this rather quickly. So I'll let you speak.
Hare Krishna. So as we were making the announcements yesterday, our goal was to raise 500,000 to $500,000 to raise to build the Bellevue Temple, and we already raised $680,000 last year. So within one day yesterday, we requested the devotees in Seattle, and they all opened their wallets generously, and we were able to raise more than 500,000. So it was. We cannot thank you enough for doing that, because this is it's not an easy thing to donate $500,000 on one night. So thanks to every one of you, and Maharaj also wanted to thank you, all of you. And we're going to have a beautiful temple in Bellevue, almost twice the size of this building, and we'll have Balaji temple, as well as eventually we'll have Radha Krishna also, hopefully, there in that building, and which will be easy for people in Seattle, Bellevue, and all Renton and all those areas to come to the temple and get the darshan of the Lord. So that's the goal for coming year. So we plan to open the temple sometime in April next year. So we will be sending the updates regularly in terms of the progress where we are. So we need your support along the way. So we just wanted to thank you for all the kind support. And we will distribute, Maharaj will call out the names. If you are here, please come by so that Maharaj will also hand over the sweets as a vote of thanks for all your, this is a Mahaprasad.
Haribo!
This is a Mahaprasad from yesterday, Janmashtami sweet, so it's a nectar. So we'll go from there. So Sunil Kumar Somana, Sheshadev Prabhu, and he has donated $1,008. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, if you are here, please come by. Maharaj actually has retired several years ago, but still he has some sort of income. He keeps on giving. He has so far, till this year, he has given $30,000.
Haribo!
He just continues to amaze us every single day, not just by service, but also donating lavishly. 31,000, and he's another 10,000 he is going to do it. So he is the real role model for all of us. We all should aspire to follow his path and donate generously for the temple and to spread the Krishna conscious movement. So next is Grace Damodara Prasad Prabhu and Mataji has donated $15,000. Damor Hari Prabhu and his family has donated $30,000. And myself, my family, we've donated $15,000. Srinivas Gopal Prabhu, $2,000. Gaurang Chandra Prabhu, $5,000. Rajakripa Prabhu, $5,000. Rajaraman Prabhu, $15,000. Jayapal Prabhu, $1,001. Vidyanath Prabhu and Janaki Devi Mataji has donated $5,000. Nityananda Vilas Prabhu, $10,000. Arun Rangachari Prabhu, $2,000. Kiran and Sankita Prabhu Mataji has donated $2,000. And then Nitin Mujumdar Prabhu, $5,000. Amirtananda Prabhu, $3,000. Krishna Murali Prabhu, $2,000. Adidev Prabhu, $1,100. Sundaram Prabhu, $10,000. He is not here, Maharaj. He is donating through the Amazon stocks, Maharaj. And Pradyumna Prabhu and Mandakini Mataji has donated $25,000. Radhika Gopinath Prabhu, $2,500. Vihari Das Prabhu and Ananta Manjari Mataji, $5,000. And Radha Vinod Prabhu, $10,000. Sridhar Gopal Prabhu, $2,500. Hari Ballabha Prabhu, $2,001. Sri Vallabha Prabhu and Madhuri Leela Mataji, $508. Shivani Garanti, $108. Chaman Sahu Prabhu, $1,021. Vijay Lakshmi Nanuru Mataji has $2,001. Valli Adepalli Mataji, $2,500. Venkata Krishna Rao Kastur Shashidhar Prabhu, $1,000. Radhanand Prabhu, $3,000. Arun Lakshmanan Prabhu, $5,000. Mallikarjuna Avula Prabhu, $251. Saleen Ranjan, $500. Sukurti Krishna Prabhu and Supri Radha Mataji, $5,000. Ram Mukunda Prabhu, $1,001. Rabindra Virat Prabhu, $500. Veera Kota Prabhu, $1,116. Rasachandra Prabhu, $5,000. Dhananjay Prabhu, we have to have a special mention of him. Yesterday we forgot. He has donated very, very generously as $22,000.
Dhananjaya Prabhu is a brahmachari, but he works also. And basically, like a brahmachari, he gives everything he makes to the temple. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. And every day he wakes up early in the morning. I know because I'm up before him. He gets up every day around 4 o'clock. And he showers and he chants Hare Krishna, and he makes it possible that other people can hear and see and witness the Mangal Arati. He controls the internet for us, and he goes to work. He works for the Gates Foundation, and whatever he earns, he maintains himself, and then also he donates almost all of it to the temple. So he's an exemplary person. He's been doing this now, is it 3 years? 3 years. So I know I'm embarrassing him right now, but we want to thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. You inspire all of us every single day. Thank you. Harish Attiraju Prabhu and his family has donated $1,250. And we have our special devotee, Ayan Gupta Prabhu. From his internship, his first salary, he has donated to the temple for a tile of $2,500. Hari Bo. Srinivas Saran Prabhu, he is always our special donor, and he has donated $30,000.
I told Prabhu today that he's 30,000 steps closer to Vaikuntha.
Shubham Das Prabhu, $1,001. Hari Mejati Prabhu, $1,001. Rajahari Prabhu, $5,000. Chaitanya Sundar Prabhu, $5,004. Please come, Mataji. Radhapati Prabhu, $1,008. And then we have another special devotee, Samarth Prabhu, has donated $100. Samarth. and Jay Patel Prabhu, this is Naganjati Prani Mataji's brother. He has passed away. In their remembrance, Mataji has donated $2,500. We all should pray for her brother. He's an amazing devotee as well. Nishant Mittal Prabhu has donated $10,000. Vidyanand Prabhu. Ram Raghav Prabhu, $2,500. Then we have another special devotee who is Devnath Hari Prabhu, and his family has donated $25,000. Yeah, and he will be matching his donations as well at Microsoft, himself, Devnath Hari Prabhu, and all the devotees, and which will add up on top of this as well. Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu has $2,000. Chandra Lalita Shangubatla Prabhu has donated $10,000. Himanshu Suni Prabhu has donated $1,000. Shubharanshu Sahu, $2,500. Suranjana and Shiva Prabhu has donated $5,000. Srinivas Chalal Prabhu has donated $516. Ramji Prabhu has donated $2,500. Pratima Nokola Prabhu, Mataji has donated $500.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. And Ashwin Jagatyani Prabhu has donated $2,500. Shudagar Devi Setti Prabhu has donated $1,000. Nandadulal Prabhu has donated $2,500. Navdeep Nandadulal is not here. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu has donated, and Mataji has donated $5,000. Prabhu. Gopal Nalagatla Prabhu has donated $10,000. Shiva Govindaraj Prabhu has donated $2,500. Sridhar Vipulachi Prabhu has donated $1,000. Umesh Mehra Prabhu has donated $2,500. Prasad Buddhavara Prabhu has donated $2,500. Hare Krishna. Sabarish Srimulanathan Prabhu has donated $5,000. Sunil Kumar Somana Prabhu has donated $1,008. And Geetika and Swapnil Prabhu has donated $5,000. Okay, our dear Mukund Prabhu and Bharti Mataji has donated $5,001. Hare Krishna. That's no.
We want to thank everyone. The only way we can thank you is by very, very seriously maintaining this temple and the next temple so that everyone has a chance to become Krishna conscious and happy. This is our goal. We're not businessmen, but our only thought is to spread Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot also. We want to thank also Yasodha Dalal and his good wife and his children. They've donated $100,000. And then we want to thank Namarata Prabhu and his good wife and his children. They've donated their whole life. Thank you. We're finished with that, but that's only a beginning. Once the temple opens, you'll see that every penny went to make that temple extremely beautiful and welcoming for everyone. So now we will have our Arti ceremony and then Pushpanjali ceremony. Hare Krishna. Also, we forgot one person, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu and his good wife and kids. They have donated $1,001. Thank you.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. শ্রী গুরু চরণ পদ্মা কেবল বকতি সদ্মা শ্রী গুরু চরণ পদ্মা কেবল বকতি সদ্মা বন্দ মোহি সাবদান মতে বন্দময়ী সাবদান মতে যাহার প্রসাদে ভাই এ ববত প্রিয়া যায় যার যাহার প্রসাদে ভাই এ ববত প্রিয়া যায় কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি হয় যাহা হইতে কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি হয় যাহা হইতে শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এসে তমাগতি গুরুর মুখ পদ্ম বাক্য চিত্তে প্রিয়া গুরুর মুখ গুরুর মুখ পদ্ম বাক্য চিত্তে প্রিয়া গুরু হারনাক প্রিয় মনে আশা হারনাক প্রিয় মনে আশা শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এসে তমাগতি শ্রী গুরু শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এসে তমাগতি যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে দিব্য জ্ঞানীতে প্রকাশিত ও দিব্য জ্ঞানীতে প্রকাশিত প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাইতে প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাইতে বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত্র ও বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত্র ও বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত্র শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু আদম জনার বন্ধু শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু আদম জনার বন্ধু লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন ও লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন ও প্রভুপাদ লোকের জীবন আহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেও মরে পদ ছায়া আহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেও মরে পদ ছায়া হেবে জয় গুসতি ভুবন ও হেবে জয় গুসতি ভুবন আহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেও মরে পদ ছায়া প্রভুপাদ কর দয়া দেও মরে পদ ছায়া হেবে জয় গুসতি ভুবন ও প্রভুপাদ লইলু শরণ ও প্রভুপাদ লইলু শরণ জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 নমো বিষ্ণুপদায় কৃষ্ণ প্রসায় বোতলে শ্রীমতে ভক্তি বেদান্ত স্বামী নীতি নামিনে नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी प्रशांत देशतारिणे Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Rama. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajagachasta Tarasatara Shishi Shimada's Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavani Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajagachasta Tarasatara Shishi Shimada's Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Anat Koti Vaishnavindi Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prince Kahusha Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Mayapuri Dham Ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Jamana Maya Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Patita Pavani Ki Jai. Shri Guru Pranama prayers ki jai. Om Aganyati Mirandasya Jnanandjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Pitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kedamayam Dadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Ragunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaguna Lalita Shri Vikat Vishakam Anvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini
Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gurvani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Desatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shri Varsavanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Dur Ujvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Guruvani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Apasidanta Tvantaharine Namo Guru Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gora Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Baba Bhumestvam Nirdesta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhuma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanvam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premapadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gurichase Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktasaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surator Bangur Mama Mandamatir Gati Matsava Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadramadaha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastito Srimad Radhashila Govinda Devo Prestali Bihi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamsivata Tatastitaha Karsan Venusvaner Gopir Gopinatakstriyestuna Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanustute Devi Prananami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Esha Vishmun Esha Saraswati, I'm sorry. Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Pucharine Nivasesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Disatarine Namaste Esha Pushpanjali Swaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Disatarine Esha Pushpanjali Swaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So one thing I forgot to say today, I'm sure I forgot a lot of things, but we owe a great debt of gratitude to all the pujaris. When the deities are nicely served and when we make extra efforts to please them, even on a daily basis, and especially on Krishna Janmashtami, this is very, very encouraging for the grand public and for the devotees. And it's a great task. It's not easy. So many of our ladies have worked tirelessly for many, many days, making all the decorations and garlands, and also Pandavi Vijay Prabhu and Srivas Gauranga Prabhu, and all the pujaris that work together to dress the deities in such a magnificent way. It's very dazzling, it's very ecstatic, and it holds the temple together, because the worship of the deity is the most important thing that's taking place. And then all our cooks and our cake makers and decorations, everything put together is ecstasy in the eyes and the hearts of the devotees. So we want to give a great appreciation for all the ladies that work so tirelessly, all the Matajis that work so tirelessly, and all the pujaris that work so hard, and all the cooks. So thank you. May you all continue doing wonderful service like this, and every year it should even look more and magnificent, more ecstatic, more transcendentally inspiring. This is Krishna consciousness. This is the spiritual world. This is why we have a temple. So thank you very, very much. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Disatarane Esa Pushpanjali Swaha. Also, I would like to thank especially Srinivas Charan Prabhu. I call him Mr. Kusla. He doesn't have a Tesla, he's got a Kusla. Because he sponsored the trust for the deities, and it's really magnificent. Thank you. I want to thank all the Kirtaniyas, also. Our Mr. Parth Prabhu. And also, go ahead. Also, we want to thank Karunamayi Devi Dasi and her husband. They've donated $1,001. Is that it? Yeah, when I said cooks, I actually meant Rasavati Mataji. He also, when I said Kirtaniyas, I also mean Nrihari Prabhu. He's there every day chanting Mangal Arati and inspiring everyone to chant Hare Krishna. And our friend Raj Prabhu, we call him, he's also here now. Did he leave? He went down. Okay. He also gave $5,000. That's a great sacrifice for him. Thank you. Okay, so now this ends our program, but every ending is a beginning also. So now we're going to begin to actually really finish the Bellevue Temple once and for all, so we can open it. My God, it's been so many years we're waiting. But we'll do it. So they waited 1,700,000 years to build Srirangam. They waited 1,000 years to build Tirupati. So we can wait 8 years to build the Balaji Temple in Bellevue. Haribol. Who? So, also I want to thank tonight Kanti Mati. And we have a little gift for you. Come. Yeah, we have a gift for you. And also Srimati Devi Dasi. Srimati Devi Dasi, she's here. Yeah, also come. Karunamai Devi Dasi and her husband also, thank you. Is Srimati here? Or is she left out? Okay, anyway, we'll end right now and get to the best part of the program. Mahaprasad Ki Jai!